Hello, PAX Unplugged. My name is Garrett Whitmire. I'm a special education teacher here in Tacoma, Washington. I teach students with blindness, visual impairments, neurodiversity, and multiple disabilities. And some of the biggest needs for my students and their families and their friend groups are games. Games that are out of the box, ready to go, accessible. They don't need any modifications. Also, another need was to grow and maintain friendships with general education, or they're just their friends. But lastly, is just a paradigm shift for inclusion. But inclusion in this case is including those with varying degrees of ability to the same table to play the same game. And so I started a business called Inclusive Imagination. Our mission, or my mission, is to bring equitable experiences to tabletop gaming. So what that means is everybody, regardless of ability, has the same experience with the same game. We can all play the same game together. And so I want to introduce the game that I'm applying for. Is called Apprentice ICG. And so what's different about Apprentice ICG? And ICG stands for Inclusive Card Game. So trading card game, collectible card game, ICG, Inclusive Card Game. Meaning if you see that on a box, hopefully in the future, or on my boxes, you know it's going to be accessible for pretty much everyone. It's going to have Braille, it's going to have adaptive switch, companion app, all that good stuff. So what sets us apart is our commitment to accessibility and universal design. If it's not for everyone, we don't do it. The biggest things though is can you check it out? We have UV printed Braille on it, so it's really cool, really aesthetic. We have image descriptions on every card, so you follow a QR code, it goes to image description. We have an adaptive switch companion app. I'll show you an example of that coming up. And then also, it just maintains the fun and fantasy and player interaction that we all want in a tabletop game. I'm gonna unbox this. It's gonna be a top-down view and no longer of my face, and we'll get to it. This is Apprentice ICG, and I'm stoked to share with you guys. Thank you. All right, so this is Apprentice ICG. So I wanna kind of go from the outside in, show you the box and all that good stuff, and then we'll get to the gameplay pretty soon. But one of the core concepts of inclusive imagination is that everything's accessible, including the packaging. And so this is a lot of fun. Of course, we have our UV Braille, Apprentice ICG. And then just give you a little tour. It's really kind of cool. We have all of our different classes. So it's a class-based game. Elemental, card battler is what I call it. And so we have Ember, Spirit, Glacier, and Forest. So here's our card back. Same thing, we have a sample card on the top left, and then the summary, and then the access tech and the contents of each one. And then of course we have a QR code that leads to the learn more, or even like the directions page, but that's also in our UV Braille. And all of this great information. So just a summary of it, Apprentice ICG, I'll read the box for you in case you can't read it. Is welcome to the realm of Apprentice ICG. Pick a class, combine power, and cast epic spells on this 2 to 4 player deck battler built for everyone. Become the chosen apprentice. So our access tech, we have a QR to image and card description for every card. I'll get out some cards here soon and show you all that. Transparent UV hardened Braille, large print text, high contrast color palette. And our contents, we have 120 oversized 3x5 inch cards divided into 4 playable classes. And then we have a print and Braille 35 millimeter D12. The thing is awesome. And we have accessible class themed tuck boxes because we want to keep everything organized. And so this is the card box with all the legalese and some card samples and pictures, not to scale, of the cool little things. So without further ado, let's open the box. So these are our card boxes. These are tuck boxes, excuse me, of each different class. So let's take out Ember. Each one has a quick start QR guide, also in Braille, and labeled on each side so you know what you're getting into. And so we have all 3 classes. All the QR codes are identical. So you can read the directions at whichever box you choose. And then my favorite guy is this D12 that is actually something I patented the design, which is pretty cool, / a lot of work. But anyway, this is our dual media universal design D12. It's super cool. So we have Braille next to the print, and 1 is a little Braille lesson. 1 is A, and then 12 is L, the 12th letter of the alphabet. So that's how that works. So I'm going to pivot to showing you guys the card. All right, so here are some card samples, and I want to kind of highlight the the different classes, what they mean, what they are, and then also some accessibility features. And so first, every class is identical save for the skin or the art. And so each class, Ember, Glacier, Forest, or Spirit, those were in alphabetical order, but not anymore, are exactly the same, have the same capabilities, have the same card list. It's 2 of each card, so 15 unique cards times 2 is 30. Each has 30 cards, and they all do the same thing, all same power level, all same keywords, which we'll get into, but different skins. So everything's even, it's just kind of like, how do you feel? Do I feel like Ember or Glacier? Which element do I want today? So to highlight this, we have the Spirit class Cloud Giant. I'll get this up close and personal. And then just a little bit about the card. The top right is our power level. And then in Braille, you can kind of see the Braille. Yeah, there it is. Cool. It's so transparent and cool. But anyway, we have an S number and then a J, which is the 10th letter of the alphabet. So it's number 10. So that stands for Spirit. So you know you have a Spirit card if you're blind. And then this says Cloud Giant also in Braille. And then this, you can tell it's Spirit class because of the purple, the S in Braille, or the little wind icon in the middle. This is our QR code to image description. So if you are blind or visually impaired and you don't know what the art looks like, you can follow this code and it'll describe it to you. It'll go to a landing page that tells you all about the art, and that first thing you hear will be the art description of this cool Cloud Giant. So just to get the flavor of the different classes, all giants are power level 10, and they're just reskinned to fit the different classes. So Glacier, Leaf, Forest class, sorry, and Ember. And so I want to cut to an example of the image description. And then I also want to cut to how this game has our Switch companion app. Yeah, so this is a quick example of what an adaptive Switch is. So this is a Switch interface that works with any smartphone or iPad or tablet, things like that. And so you have 2 functions. You have a left and a right click. And usually, depending on the user, left either goes to the next item or the next app or something in the app itself, and then the right one selects it. Great, okay, so here's our example of using Switch Control to play the companion app. Again, this is our rough shell app using HTML/JS, and then we'll use obviously Xcode and all that good stuff for the actual game when it's on the App Store. So we're gonna scan through the different elements.
Apprentice ICG.
These
Glacier
clicks
class.
you'll hear, I'm using the Switch interface, and we're going to draw and then select it.
Glacier Dragon power level 11. Ice Giant power level 10. Glacier Apprentice power level 1.
And that's how you cycle through your cards and play it. That's how Switch Control works. So I followed the QR of Glacier Dragon, and now we're going to the image description.
A pristine blue eye opens amid a sea of opalescent scales. Frosty sinews crackle with life. Image.
And that's how our image ID works. All right, to give you a little flavor of the game, I chose one class, Glacier. And so each class has various numbers of power, 1 through 11, and also question marks. So question marks means you need to roll, and that's also depicted in the Braille above. And so we have these things called keywords, and so keywords mean different things. Okay, so here's our power level 4 character, Ridge Rogue, and his or her keyword is chance. So chance basically is a dice roll. You get 2 chances to choose one number on the D12, and if you get it, you win the hand. And so I'll kind of go through what that looks like. Another 2 keyword elements, we call these artifacts. There's 2 of them in each class. We have Diamond Blade and Crystal Shield, and they both have 2 keywords, Rally and Chant. These are powerful cards. Rally means you get to bring a second card into the skirmish or the battle, and then Chant means you get to roll the dice for added power. So basically you're bestowing characters with these cool little artifacts from their class. And then next we have 2 spells per class. For Glacier, we have Snowball and Avalanche. Basically, it's a spell versus whatever your opponent is playing. And then next we have Glacier Apprentice, which is every class has a class theme apprentice, and that has an enchant. So we add whatever you rolled to 1, and that matters for the rally rule, which we'll kind of get into. Smite, these are the knight cards. Smite is an auto win versus any dragon card, which can be found here. So if any plays a dragon, you play the winner knight. my 2 power level beats that 11 anyway because of that keyword. And then next we have our rally card. Here's a Glacier ally, and then his keyword is rally, so it's a combination of all different characters in the Glacier class, which is really cool. And so rally is you draw a second card to be in the skirmish with you, but it has to have a number. You can't rally a question mark. So that's why the Apprentice card is pretty fun. And so those are our keywords. Now it's time to play the game. Let's do it. Alrighty, let's get started with some gameplay. And so I have 2 classes. I have Glacier and Ember. And so the players pick a class. If there's 2 players, you choose 1 class. If it's 3 players, it's also heads up, 1v1v1. And then the 4-player rules are a lot of fun. It's 2v2. So you kind of finish each other's rallies or kind of work together to overcome the other 2 players, which is a lot of fun. But for this example, I'm going to do the 1v1 because it's the OG version. So each player starts with 2 cards. Obviously, you wouldn't show them to everybody, but for the purposes of this video, I will. It's 2 cards. And so we have our cards out. We have our hands. And so I'm going to grab our D12 as well. And then whoever rolls the highest gets to go second. So Glacier rolled a 5. Ember rolled a 4. So Glacier would start. And the kind of the catch-up mechanic of a skirmish is that whoever wins starts. And so whoever goes second has time to react, basically. And so it's kind of an advantage. So if you win, you don't have that advantage anymore. So Ember lost, so he wants to play his ally card for 3 power. And then Glacier's gonna answer with Diamond Blade, Rally, and Chance. So one of the core rules is that everybody should have 2 cards in the hand at all times. So you always have a card to choose from when you rally or have a keyword. And so since Glacier went first, he's going to rally something big because he knows that that's a big card that Glacier has. And so he has a total of 13 power. He had 2 cards because of rally. If he didn't have rally, that wouldn't be there. And then same with Diamond Blade. He's going to rally a second card. And so our skirmish is 13 versus 11 for now, right? So we have 13 total power versus 11. And then Diamond Blade is a question mark, so we need to roll the dice to resolve that. So it's a 12. Holy moly. Hey, that's cool. All right, so natty 12. Okay, so 12 plus 11 is 23? And so that beats 13. So Glacier wins that skirmish. So Glacier player gets to keep these cards, and so far the total, the score is 4-0. And then the winner is the person with the most cards at the end of the round. So here we go. New skirmish starts. We know that Glacier won, and then they need to have 2 cards in their hand. And so they will start because they have the advantage. We're drawing the card for Ember. Okay, this guy's going to start off with, hey, look at that, a Glacier ally. He's going to grab a second card here. And then, let's see. I think Inferno Troll sounds like fun. So we have 8 versus 3. Inferno Troll has no keywords, so he doesn't get to play. That player doesn't get to play anymore because there's nothing else to do. This guy, the Glacier player, has a rally, and so he needs to resolve that. You can't leave it empty, but you can't rally a question mark, so it has to be another Glacier ally. So you're like, oh man, so we need to resolve the rally again. And it's a fractal sage. So we have 3 plus 3 plus 6. Now how do you play fractal sage? Because this is a question mark, you can't rally a question mark. So that's 6, 9, 12. 12 beats 8. And so Glacier would win again. Put those in their pile. We'll draw 2 new cards. Okay, Glacier plays, hey, because they won, Ice Giant. Ember sees their opportunity. I'm going to play my Ember Dragon 11, and then Ember wins. And so they would start the next round. So the game is a series of little skirmishes that have keywords, different elements to roll the dice and gain extra power. And then that's how you play Enchant. It's heads up. It's replayable. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes. Less so if you actually get really good at it. And the cool part is that anybody can play it. If you're blind, you could play it. If you have a physical disability, you could play it. it's made simple enough and effective enough that it's fun, and the mission of Apprentice, why it's called Apprentice, is to get it's like a gateway game. You're apprenticing someone to enjoying tabletop games for the rest of their lives. It's a good, what I like to call, a gateway game. You're apprenticing them to something bigger and more fun and inclusive. Thank you.